There is a typical vibe when it comes to the summer transfer windows. Teams that have performed poorly during the season hope to make the necessary additions to raise the level, while the top clubs use these periods to expand their squads. Another important topic is free agents. Most of the time, we have 3 or 4 top names in a transfer window, but the upcoming 2025 will be different. Today, we look at the 10 most sought after free agents, giving our predictions on which club they would fit in perfectly. In order to place them, we'll use their current market value according to Transfer Market, starting with Trent Alexander-Arnold. Yes, the Liverpool fullback is rumoured to be in talks with the board over a contract extension, but it's not 100% certain that he'll be with the Reds next season. Real Madrid, who recently lost Dani Carvajal, have been linked with his signature. The Spaniard suffered a horrific ACL injury that has ruled him out for the rest of the season. On paper, Trent would be a perfect fit at the Santiago Bernabeu, given his breathtaking passing range and effectiveness in attack. Just imagine his long balls for Vini or Mbappe against Hansi Flick's high defensive line. You can be sure that Madrid would have posed a far greater threat in that last El Clasico if they had Trent in their side. But speaking of Barca, here is the big problem for Real and their desire to bring Trent in. The English international has repeatedly declared his allegiance to the Catalans. My favourite team apart from Liverpool? That would be Barca. I think they have a lot of the same values and beliefs as Liverpool. They like to bring players through the academy, said Trent in 2020. So to give our verdict, he would certainly fit in perfectly at both Barcelona and Real Madrid, but at the moment, he is more needed at the Santiago Bernabeu. So Los Blancos is our final answer. After Trent, who is valued at 70 million euros, we have Bayern Munich's Leroy Sane, who is set at 60. The German international has not been at his best since the arrival of Vincent Kompany, failing to make a single Bundesliga start this season and playing less than 250 minutes in all competitions. He is less sharp and less explosive, and the form of Michael Olise is not doing him any favours either. The Frenchman has 10 goal contributions to his name this season, compared to just 3 for Sané. As a result, it is looking increasingly likely that the former Man City man will leave the Allianz Arena. But in what direction? The latest reports have him heading to Arsenal, where Mikel Arteta is keen to sign him, as he is well aware of his qualities from Man City. Aside from Trent, Liverpool are on the verge of losing another big name, and that is Mohamed Salah. As we all know, this duo is extremely valuable to Arne Slot, and the Reds are definitely getting more and more worried with each passing day. One thing's for sure, they need to get their contract renewals done at all costs, or they'll end up without their most important players on the right flank. As for Salah, although he still has 7 months left on his contract, Liverpool fans can be almost certain that Salah will not continue his career with another European side. In 2023, there was a huge rumour of interest from Saudi Arabia's Al Ittihad, who were prepared to pay £150 million for the right winger. Liverpool turned them down at the time, but in 2025, such a move is looking increasingly realistic, especially when Salah turns 33 in mid-June next year. Already half the list, and we can conclude that both Liverpool and Bayern Munich have a lot of work to do if they want to keep their biggest stars. Next 2 on the list, both valued at 50 million euros, are Bayern fullbacks Alphonso Davies and Joshua Kimmich. Yes, I know. Kimmich currently plays as a holding midfielder under Kompany, but we've seen him cover the right side of defence, as he did last season with Thomas Tuchel. All in all, both have been crucial for Bayern this term, and unlike Sané, the departure of Kimmich and Davies would be felt keenly at the Allianz Arena. The latter was considered a near certain signing for Real Madrid in 2024, but his transfer has surprisingly fallen out of the headlines. In 2025, however, Los Blancos would surely dream of having a completely new pair of fullbacks in Davies and Trent. In fact, how feasible do you think it would be for Madrid to land 2 of the best wing-backs right now in the same transfer window? You can give your opinion down below. As for Kimmich, he was Barcelona's #1 transfer target during Xavi Hernandez's reign at the Camp Nou, but now, Hansi Flick has his midfield completely covered with Marc Bernal, Marc Casado, Pedri, Gavi and Frankie de Jong. So our prediction is that Kimmich will leave for Man City this summer. We all remember the brilliant understanding between Guardiola and Joshua from Pep's time in Bavaria, and moreover, the Catalan maestro has expressed his impressions of Kimmich multiple times in the past. When we talk about midfielders Pep Guardiola has coached, however, there's hardly anyone who comes close to Kevin De Bruyne. Yes, the Belgian is another top player who will be a free agent in 2025 if he doesn't renew his contract in the coming months. And to be honest, there's no sign of him doing that. De Bruyne is the best Premier League midfielder of the last 10 years by far. 69 goals and 114 assists in 261 games, well, that speaks for itself. As much as we want big money to stay out of football, there is a reality, and we have to get used to it. With that in mind, 2024-25 is likely to be De Bruyne's final season at Man City, with the Saudi League or MLS the most likely destinations. Al Hilal wanted to sign him in 2023 and offered Man City £100 million to secure the transfer. On the other hand, David Beckham's dream of having more and more big players at Inter Miami could also be on the agenda. Another top free agent, Heung-Min Son, worth €45 million. And like many of the players we've already seen on the list, a move away from Tottenham for the Korean makes no logical sense. Yes, things could escalate very quickly as happened with Harry Kane in 2023, but realistically, can you imagine Son playing for any team other than Spurs? Since Kane's move to Bayern Munich last summer, Son has been the heart and soul of Tottenham, and that is unlikely to change in 2025. What's more, despite being 32, he hasn't suffered too many serious injuries, the worst being a broken leg that kept him out for 2 months 14 years ago. However, if we were to give a verdict, it would definitely not be in favour of Saudi Arabia, as Son himself has said that money is not important to him. As such, it makes sense for Son to join a La Liga side, and Atletico Madrid sounds like a good choice. Atleti need a sharp left winger at the moment, and with Son's contract set to expire, they would certainly fight for his signature. And the last three, at 30 million each, we have a trio of top players who would certainly attract the attention of the whole of Europe. And the first of these is Neymar. Well, his first year at Al Hilal was a dreadful one that Ney would like to forget. Less than 2 months into his €90 million move from PSG, the Brazilian tore his ACL and was sidelined for over a year. In doing so, he realistically cut his current contract in half, and it remains to be seen whether he will extend it beyond June 2025. There have been rumours that he would like to return to Barcelona, given the success that they are enjoying under Hansi Flick. Indeed, there have been persistent rumours of a return to the Camp Nou for many years, including in the days leading up to his departure for Saudi Arabia, but they've all died down now. However, Neymar himself has made no secret of his desire to play at the highest level in Europe again in order to be in top form ahead of the 2026 World Cup. That's why we can expect Neymar to move to a mid to big European club next summer, the likes of Milan, Newcastle, or why not, Aston Villa. He's worked with Unai Emery in the past, so it wouldn't be a surprise to see such a move happen. And now, perhaps the most sought after free agent of 2025, Virgil Van Dijk. This is the third high profile Liverpool player with an expiring contract. We can't really imagine Liverpool without one of Trent, Salah or Van Dijk. But hey, this is football and anything can happen. As for the Dutchman, he's currently 33, but has shown no signs of slowing down in recent years. Van Dijk remains one of the most solid centre backs in the world, and that goes for all aspects of the game. Ball playing, defensive awareness, positioning, he's aging like fine wine. And realistically, Van Dijk is certainly one of those players that every big giant will be keeping a close eye on in the months leading up to the summer, as he is a man who could fit into any club in Europe. Barcelona are known to be very interested in him, with the Catalans certainly among the leading contenders for his signature. There are two reasons for this. Firstly, Barca's style under Hansi Flick suits Van Dijk's game perfectly. And secondly, Ronald Araujo may not renew his contract with Barcelona when it expires in 2026, and the Catalans would rather sell him for big money next season than let him leave on a free 12 months later. And the last player on the list, well, he'll certainly be another name that the big clubs will kill to sign, even if he's not as flashy as some of the other players already mentioned. Jonathan Tah. The German was one of those criminally overlooked beasts last season, despite winning the Bundesliga with Bayer Leverkusen, then the German Cup, and earning a starting spot for the national team in the first major tournament of his career at the Euros. At the end of the transfer window, Barcelona and Bayern Munich were locked in a race against time to sign the 28-year-old, but failed to complete a deal. According to Transfermarkt, Jonathan is very likely to leave Leverkusen next summer, with the Bavarians the biggest contenders, having been given a 64% chance of landing him. Realistically though, Barcelona are also likely to be somewhere in that region, with Hansi Flick himself confirming that he likes his qualities. And yep, those were the 10 most sought after free agents of 2025. Now the only thing missing is your opinion. What direction do you think each of them will take? And which club will hit the jackpot with most of those names? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, but you're already seeing the quality of the blue card. Thank you for watching, and until next time.